back to my kitchen. I'm Brandy. This is Sewing Back, and this is going to be my second canning video for the day. Woo-hoo! Alright, so today we're going to take the rest of my tomatoes. I am getting my water boiling because we have to take the skins off, and we did this in an earlier video. But we're going to be making Mrs. Wage's pasta sauce. Now, I'm particularly wanting to use this as a pizza sauce to put on my sourdough pizza crust. So for this recipe, you need 6 pounds of fresh tomatoes, which is roughly about 18 medium tomatoes. Now, these are more like my paste type tomatoes. I used my bigger kind of slicers and the kind of hodgepodge ones for my salsa that I did earlier. But I wanted to use these more for the pasta sauce because that's what you would typically use. You can also use 6 cans of 14.5 ounce of petite diced regular or low sodium tomatoes. Now this one says drained. On the salsa one, you didn't drain it. But this one actually says you would drain it if you're using those, okay? You need 1/4 cup of sugar and 1 pouch of Mrs. Wage's pasta sauce mix. So these are washed. I've actually cored these out already. I did them all at the same time. I'm waiting for my water to come up to a boil. I will put these in for about 3 minutes, and then I'll take them out, put them in a cold water bath, and get the skins off. And then I'm going to blend it up. I'm just going to put it in my Vitamix and blend it up. That's what it says to do. And it says it should yield you about 10 cups of tomatoes. And it says if you're using the canned tomatoes, make sure you drain your liquid. Okay, so it says it twice on there to drain that liquid. Alright, so once I puree my tomatoes in my Vitamix, I'm going to put sugar, and I'm going to put my pasta sauce, and I'm going to put them in a large saucepan. Okay, it says do not use aluminum because you want it to be non-reactive. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, stirring occasionally, and then I'm going to reduce and simmer for 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, and you still stir occasionally so that the sauce doesn't burn. Once you're done, the sauce is done. If you want to use it right then, you can. If you want to refrigerate, it will last for 1 week in the refrigerator. If you want to freeze it, it will last for up to a year. I'm going to can mine. It says I should get 5 pints. I actually have 6 pints in my dishwasher, almost done sanitizing, because I always like to have a little extra, just in case if I have more than 5 pints. I ended up getting 6 pints of the salsa, even though it said 5. I don't know why it works out that way. It just tends to work out that way, or it has in my time of canning. So that's just what I do. And no big deal if I sanitize an extra jar. No harm, no foul. I'd rather have it than not have it. Okay. And so when we can these you're gonna leave. You're going to do all the things, the sterilizing, the lids, the bands, all that good stuff. And then you're going to pour your hot sauce into hot jars, not cold jars, not room temperature jars. You're going to process that, or you're going to leave 1 inch. So this is going to leave 1 inch of headspace. So this has got a bigger headspace. And you're going to debubble it, clean your rims, and then you're going to process these for 40 minutes. Once you've processed them for 40 minutes, then you're going to let them, this is a water canning because you're only using tomatoes. And once you've done that, the 40 minutes, then you leave them in the canner for about 10-15 minutes, and then you can take them out and you leave them on your counter for 24 hours, and then you check to make sure you got all your seals. If you didn't get your seals, don't throw it away, just put it in the fridge and use it. It's easy as that. And sometimes that happens, but most of the time they'll work, especially if you're using a new lid every time. I don't reuse lids, I throw them away. After that, you want to take your bands off, and you want to store them, on your shelf. It's good if you can store them out of like direct light, sunlight, stuff like that. So if you have a great, nice place, if you have a basement, garage area or something like that, to get it out of your way, and don't stack them on top of each other. Some people say you can stack them in the boxes. If you want to do that, you go ahead. I think technically you can do that, but I don't. I don't want to chance anything, because if something's bad, I want that seal to bust open, because I don't want to eat it. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. All right. And it should be shelf stable for 1 year if you can it. That's what Mrs. Wages here is saying. And it says when you open it up, you can brown up some ground beef or whatever you want to eat. And if you want to put onions or peppers or anything like that, that would be the time to do it, not during the process. So that's what we're going to be making. I will show you. I'll show a real quick what it looks like when I put these in for boil to get the skins off, and I think this is going to go pretty quick, so especially because I get to put it in the Vitamix. I'm so excited. Alright, so hang on and I'll check with you in a few minutes. Alright guys, back over here. I got the green pot boiling, and I'm going to start putting my tomatoes in. I got my little slotted spoon. You want to put them in for about 3 minutes. I'm kind of watching my watch. I thought I was going to be doing this more tonight, but my one son found out while he was at work today that they were going to have basketball practice this evening, and my other son has a college Bible study he goes to. So they ate a late lunch, and I was going to cook an early dinner, and they said, "No, Mom, we want to eat when we come back." And I said, "Okay, well then I'm just going to work on this." So that's what I'm doing. And I am putting these in here. And so you're just going to boil them. Like I said, she recommends that you put the whole tomato in and that you core it afterwards. I've already cored mine. I just like to core it before it gets to this point. I have this bowl right here of cold water, and when these get ready to come out, I've got some ice I'm going to put in here, and I'll show you what it looks like to peel one of these in case you didn't see the other video. And it's pretty easy. It's not too difficult. And then I have my Vitamix right over here as well. I can't get everything in the shot, but I'll show you when I get to that. And I'm just going to puree it up. And it says I should get about 10 cups. And then I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of some organic sugar. I'm going to put the Mrs. Wages pack and stir it up. And then I'm supposed to bring it to a boil, stirring. And then once it's to a boil, I'm supposed to simmer it for 25 to 30 minutes. And then jar it up and process it. So this one seems pretty easy to me. Honestly, the hardest part is just all this extra stuff. Now, if you could have done this one, which it doesn't recommend it on the package, so I can't tell you to do it. But if I was doing, like I said, if I were doing this and I was following a recipe and not using a package that has all the different amounts done for you, I literally would have just put it all in the immersion blender, in my Vitamix, and pulverized it with the skins and everything, because I don't put anything on my tomatoes. So, but that's not what she asked for, so I'm following her directions. I've got about 1 more minute in here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my ice out. My last big block of ice. You know, those ones where you can't do anything with it. So I'll put it in there. It'll melt pretty quick. Once I start putting these hot maters in here. And wonder how y'all are doing where you're from. Are you having nice weather? We're in the dog days of summer here. It gets pretty hot, and most afternoons we end up with a thunderstorm. I haven't had to water my gardens in weeks, honestly, since right before July 4th, I believe it was. Now I do have to water. I have some blueberry plants and stuff in my greenhouse under the shade cloth because we got them too late to plant them where we want them to permanently go, and we didn't have the space prepared. So we have them in like 1 gallon pots, and they are in my greenhouse under the shade cloth, and so I do have to water those. But as far as everything else, no. Matter of fact, I'm fighting some blight because we've had so much rain. But at the same time, the plants love it. It's like a jungle. So, can't complain, you know. I mean, I'm not having to pay for the water. God's providing it. And I know there's so many other people right now. Texas is awful. I mean, it's terrible. And I know out west, they're really facing some bad drought. So I'm putting another one in while those are cooling down, and then I'll start taking the skins off, and I'll show you what one of those looks like. And you can put a lot of these in here though when you've got the smaller tomatoes. And but if you don't have a garden and you still want to make some homemade stuff, you want to, you know, go buy some canned tomatoes. And she, you know, that's recommended on her package that you could totally do that. I would do it if I didn't have tomatoes. Or maybe you'll go to a farmer's market and pick you up some there. All right, so those are going. I'm watching my watch, and let me get a little, I kind of got this little dirty bowl already for the skins. And if you have a dehydrator, you can actually take your tomato skins and you can dehydrate them and make a powder. And the powder is supposed to be really good for to make tomato paste and stuff like that. So, or to make soup bases and things like that. So if that's something that interests you, I had thought about doing it, but after the last batch I had, they was just kind of a mess, and I thought, you know what, I'm just giving that to the chickens. Now these look a little different, and I don't know if that's because of the type of tomatoes. So I'm just putting these tomatoes down in my Vitamix when I get them peeled. And I don't even know if I even showed you what that looked like before I threw that in there. That wasn't very smart. Okay, here we go. So can you see dripping? It just comes off. And see, can you see that? It's just peeling right off. And then all I'm doing is when I get it to that point, I'm just sticking it in my Vitamix. And that's how I'm going to be rolling with this. So I'm going to finish doing these, and when I get them done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I got almost another 6 cups when I blended up my tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is that's what I already had. I'm going to take, sorry, I'm going to move the Vitamix stand out of the way. Alright, so I got a little cup here, and I'm going to pour a cup of it out. And because I don't want to put more than what is called in here, and this is about right. Because it wasn't quite 6 more cups. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, so now what we have to do is I'm going to set this. It's really pretty. Oh, I love it. You know what I'm going to do? Because I grew it, I'm going to taste it. Let's see. It's just like tomato juice. It's really good. Be really good if you put a little salt. Better than V8. Alright. So the next thing that we're going to, yeah, see, he couldn't stand taking a nap in this house anymore. He missed his mama. He's always at my feet. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure out 1/4 cup of sugar and get my Mrs. Wages, and we're going to mix it up, so just hang on. Okay, so I've got my liquid here, and I want to get a spoon. Got taken by my potato masher. There we go. All right, so we're going to take, I'm going to turn my eye on because we got to bring this up to a boil. And I've got, this is just some raw organic cane sugar, and it says we need 1/4 a cup. So I'm going to get 1/4 of a cup. Sprinkle that in. And then I'm going to open up my, that's the Mrs. Wages. I'm going to open up my packet here of spice. Don't you wish you could smell? It smells pizza, like a pizza place. Or, you know, a pasta place. Go either way. For me, I want it to be pizza sauce. And then I'm just going to incorporate these together. Try to get all the lumps out. It has a really nice smell. You can see the spices in it. It smells really good. I hope I get 6 pints of this one. It'd be great. I haven't started this up yet because this has got to go for a good 30 minutes, and this honestly doesn't take that long. It's still kind of warm from the last batch, so I'm just gonna I'm not gonna turn it quite on just yet. So anyway, I'm just gonna get this boiling. When I get it boiling, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you up close right now what it looks like. So, but I'm excited. It looks like it's about the same as the sauces, so I'm hoping I do get that 6 pints. That's what I'm hoping for. Fingers crossed. Alright guys, I've got it up to that boil, which is what I was waiting on. And it's still boiling even while I stir. So now what I need to do is I've got to turn it down. I'm going to turn it down to low and slow for 25 to 30 minutes. So what I'm fixing to do is I'm actually turning that eye off because I have a little eye back there that I can put it on, and let's see if I can make this work. Yeah, that I can put it on back there and just stir it here and there, and it won't burn. Let me tell you what, I love my stove. This new stove is just, oh, it's such a blessing. And so I can turn it down. My old stove, it was all kind of all one temperature. It didn't move. It was all out of date. It needed so much work. And so, and see, that calmed it down. That's perfect. It's just got a low flame. And I am going to let this thing go. I'm going to put my timer on. And when I come back, we'll have the jars. We'll be ready to jar this up and get it in the canner. And so, 2 canning projects in one day. I'm so excited. So anyway, hang on. We're getting there. Okay, guys, I'm back. I allowed it to simmer for 25 minutes. I know my fan's on. Sorry. Trying to help the smells. So I've got it stirred up. It looks pretty good. and we're gonna jar it up. I've got my jars, they just came out of my dishwasher. So they are sanitized. I've got my handy dandy cup because I'm gonna dip it in, like, because I think that just is easier. I've got my vinegar. I've got my chopstick for debubbling. I got my magnet here so I can get my lids, which have been soaking. My bands came out of the dishwasher with the jars. And this one, if you remember on the package, this one needs a whole, I think it's an inch, not a half inch. I gotta find the package. It says, we need to have 1 inch of headspace. So, I know this one, it's hard to see those numbers, but the 1 inch is gonna have be the top stair, okay? So, let's see if we get the 6 jars. I'm hoping. Because this is like some nice pizza sauce. Now, do you ever make homemade pizzas at your house? Do y'all like build your own? Or is that not your cup of tea? You'd rather just go and get the $5, well now I don't think it's $5, but whatever you can get. Again, you can't do that if you're doing gluten-free for sure. They're much more expensive. And you get a lot less food. But that's just kind of how it is. Alright, so let's see. And this is going to be a little messy. I'll wipe everything off when I get done. I'm trying to hurry because everybody is headed home and they're going to be hungry and I got to start dinner. Luckily it's just turkey tacos, so that's a quick meal for us. I've already got my onion and peppers all chopped, and so it'll be super quick, and all the other stuff is prepped and ready to go. I guess I could have used one of my sauces tonight if I had thought that far, but I already have some open, so we're going to do that. Don't know if I'm going to get 6 jars. I'm hoping I get 5. I think this one kind of cooked down. And this one, remember, you couldn't use the liquid. So, now let me get a pot holder so I can get a tilt going here. I may end up just getting the 5. But hey, I don't care. My tomatoes didn't rot. They, I got them processed, and that I am so proud of, because I was wondering there for a few days. It's just been staring at me, and last week, I really thought I would have some time last week to clear some of this out, and last week kind of got sidetracked because John got bit by a spider and got an infection, and we had urgent care and doctor visits and lots of antibiotics, and he's fine. And this didn't even make 5 jars, y'all. So, that's okay, because this other one I can put in the fridge. Hold on one second, I've got a little bit left. I gotta turn it upside down so I get all this goodness out. But I don't think I'm gonna have enough for that 5th jar, which is okay, because I can put that in the refrigerator, and in all honesty, that will be enough. That would probably be enough for us to make some pizza, because we usually have some left over, and John likes to eat it. He likes to dip other stuff, bread and stuff in it, so we just probably wouldn't have any left over. So I can put that one in the fridge and use it for our pizza, because this is fully cooked. I'm sorry, I know I'm off camera. I can't do it all. I'm trying to get all this sauce out because I don't want to waste any of the precious. Alright, so since I have a little spatula here and all that goodness. Alright, I'm going to do it. I'm going to taste it. Alright. Ooh, that's good. Wow, that's really good. I like that. I like that a lot. I got to find another pack of this because I think I'm going to be wanting to make more of this. That's really good. Oh my gosh. So good. I'm digging that. I'm digging this more than the salsa. And I like the salsa. So, alright, so I don't even have to put a band or anything on this. I'm going to put a plastic lid to put it in the refrigerator because I know it's not going to be enough. Remove this. I'm going to grab a spoon just in case I need to move some from that one jar over to these so that I know that they are full. Because remember, we have to have a that one's just actually a little too full, and it can go right there. Okay. So, let's see. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Yay! Okay. So now, we only have 4 jars. So I have another one that's clean. No big deal. Save it for another day. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've got my handy dandy chopstick, and I'm going to debubble to each of these. I can't get over her. I mean, I still have a very nice flavor in my mouth. Very tasty. Okay, so I got that done. Now I'm going to take my I got a clean rag. I got my vinegar, okay, because we got to wipe off these rims. I think that's what I've been trying, the word I've been looking for. It's a rim. I have struggled to get my word for that. So I'm going to wipe this really good because this did have sugar in it. And then we're going to get our lid. We're going to put it on. And we're going to screw our band on. Fingertip tight. And I'm going to start setting them in my pan here. And when I get them all in, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so guys, I only got the 4 jars and I will say it's 3/4 full of another one. I'm just going to put that in the refrigerator and we're going to use it on pizza night this week. I had to add some more water because I anticipated more jars so that I could get that inch of water over for the water bath canner. So I've got to wait for this to come up to boil before I can start my timer. This has to process for 40 minutes in the water bath canner. So I will show you what these jars look like once they are done processing. And woohoo! Woohoo! 2 canning projects done in one day. I am so excited. Now I got to cook some turkey tacos. So I will catch y'all back in I guess about an hour. Come here. Come on. You want to dance? You gonna dance with me? You gonna dance? Huh? What you trying to do? You trying to lick me? You trying to lick me? Do you smell some spaghetti sauce? Do you smell spaghetti sauce? Or turkey? Or all the things? Huh? Mushy. Got kisses? No kissing? Okay. Well, thanks for dancing. I like a good dance. Alright guys, it finished processing about 15 minutes ago. I've let the jars sit. I'm going to take them out. I want you to get to see what it looked like. I think it's going to make some great pizza sauce. So I only got 4 jars that I was able to can, but I have another jar that we'll eat fresh this week. I'll do some, I'll do a homemade sourdough pizza, and we'll use that sauce that I made so it won't go to waste. So I guess it is close enough to getting the 5. I just gotta wait for all the pings. I think I heard one when it was cooking. But anyway, this is the Mrs. Wages pasta sauce, and I thought it was easier than, those are the salsa. I thought it was a little bit easier than the salsa because I was just able to put it in the Vitamix and blend it up. And but I'm excited to have both these. So that's 11 cans today, and my counter is free from all those tomatoes that were on there earlier. So anyway, I hope you have a good day, or it's night now. I hope you have a good night or day whenever you watch it. If you like the video, we'd love a like, subscribe to the channel, share, and don't forget, I think I mentioned in this video that we have a Facebook page, Sewing Back, that we'd love for you to join as well. So I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.